Yo, what's good with you? Back in black with some more enlisted news. Yesterday the devs posted like a Q&A blog on their actual main website, and they answered a fair amount of questions regarding the gameplay mechanics and just gameplay in general. Also, they did a content drop for the Berlin campaign. So, before I get into it, if you guys are new to the channel and you like shooting games, go ahead and hit that like button and drop a sub. I'm almost at 150 subs, so any support you guys do give me, we'll make sure you guys get teammates that actually play the objective because we all know how rare that is. Anyways, let's get into it. Like I was saying, on their official website, they decided to do like a little FAQ briefing in which they basically picked and chose out of like 2,500 questions. They picked and chose what they wanted to address as far as how the game works, how they intend for it to work, and what they plan on as far as additional implementations. I'm gonna quickly go through the ones that stuck out to me the most, but feel free to look up the whole thing and read it, like cause like your boy Quadro said. Uh, Basically, I thought it was a better Q&A system when they did it on live stream because you're not allowed to pick exactly what you want to respond to. But I suppose in the same sense, if they didn't want to reply to a certain question that you asked on a live stream, they would just simply say like, "Hey, I can't really answer anything to that." But I guess that's it looks bad on the public eye, so I can kind of see why they resorted to this more website oriented way to answer questions. So, anyways, yeah, the first one that really caught my eye was the question, are there going to be any more soldier classes to look forward to? For example, medics. And this is something that I personally myself have been asking for. I figure we could have a class that specialized in the healing or can revive down soldiers super quickly or something of the sort. But their reply is indicative of a half yes and half no kind of answer because they said they are considering new types of soldiers to add to new campaigns in the future, which in a sense kind of tells me that they don't have no plans to add any like new soldier classes to current campaigns. So there's that. And they also said while they do have plans to possibly add new soldier classes in the future, they cannot say for sure. And I personally thought medics were a good candidate to be put in the game, but I guess we will have to see what they have in store for the future. The next big question that really stood out, it kind of really shed some light on why a lot of my matches go the way they do as far as like the teammates that I get matched up with. A community member asked, "Is my campaign level or is my skill affecting the opponents that I am matched against when I'm fighting in battle?" And basically, that's another way to ask if skill-based matchmaking is in the game. And to my surprise, actually, the developers were they answered not right now, which I guess that means they're going to add skill-based matchmaking in the future. I might as well kill myself now, but it's all good. They said all players are randomly assigned because they are focusing on the balance of the weapons and the tanks, and I like how they didn't say anything about the planes because those are the most OP thing in my opinion. But basically, they want the most upgraded tanks and the most upgraded soldiers to be susceptible to a really good explosive pack or a really lucky bullet or a headshot. So I guess that's why they don't have skill-based matchmaking right now. Also, they said they do plan on adding a matchmaker based on whatever campaign level you are currently on. So let's say you were level 1 in the campaign, you would basically be matched up against other people who are like level 1 to 10, so they won't have like a bunch of really good equipment and weaponry in comparison to what you have, which is a Springfield. If for example, for that Normandy campaign when you just start, which it's not a bad gun or anything, but a Springfield versus a BAR or a Thompson, you're not going to do anything. So I see where they're going with that one. Usually, I would say it just depends on whoever is in your area, because they also say that if the game cannot find people who are on similar campaign levels as you, they will go back to the way they're doing it now, which is basically just pulling the first available game that they come across. So do with that information what you will. A big ticket question, and finally, a bold big ticket answer from the developers, because they usually give like these very vague and mundane responses. Is somebody asked, what new campaigns do they plan on adding in the future? And they simply replied, "We are planning on adding campaigns from all major World War II battles, including the Pacific," which that does indeed confirm that we will be getting the Pacific campaign later, which I was also hinting at that in my previous video. So you'll love to see it. Can't even be mad at that. When it comes to leveling up, that is something that I've seen the community plus myself complain about a lot. One member asked, "I enjoy playing all the campaigns, but it does take a long time to level up between each one each one of them separately. Are you guys going to make any easier way for active players to enter new campaigns? Because nobody likes starting from ground zero over and over again every time a new campaign comes out. To which the devs replied, while we do want new players or each player to try every campaign that we put in the game, we don't want the levels going by so fast that they can't try out new squads, weapons, and vehicles. Which that statement doesn't really make much sense to me because just because you leveled up very fast does not mean you're not gonna go and try out the new stuff that you unlocked eventually. That one didn't really make any sense to me, but yeah, they say aside from the premium account that they already have in the game, which will help you level up faster, it's for like $10 a month. They said they will also be adding in boost, like experience boost, and they also said they are working on a system that basically makes it easier to level up in new campaigns if you are already a high level in another campaign. So I actually like that. I'm not mad at that at all cuz you know, starting over again is very frustrating. The only other thing that they mentioned from this Q&A that really had a lot of significance to me was the fact that they will be adding in a way to remotely destroy your rally points without running up to it and holding square, because that was one of the more annoying things in this game. So I'm glad they made a way to get rid of that. And from this point, we will be discussing the additional content being added to the Berlin campaign. There are currently only 15 levels, but they are adding an additional 3 for each side. So let's get into it. At level 16, for the Russians, you will be getting the Yak 3 fighter plane, which is basically, it has improved handling at low altitudes, which is better for dogfighting, of course. The Germans, on the other hand, will be getting the BF 109 G14, which they say is not as maneuverable as the Yak, but is more suited to boom and zoom tactics, which is kind of interesting wording to me, because I'm not sure if that means that it's better against ground targets, or they're just saying that it has stronger machine guns and bombs in general. So please forgive me, because that wording is kind of cryptic, and I don't really know what to make of that. But at level 17, you will get the respective flamethrowers for whatever faction you decide to main. The Russians will get the ROX 2 flamethrower, which is basically described as having a mediocre jet stream of 18 meters, but because of the low fuel consumption, you can pull the trigger for an entire 15 seconds, which can be very useful for clearing rooms and trenches. The Germans, on the other hand, will be getting the Flamethrowers 35, which is it has its exact same stats, but when it comes to using it on the defensive side, they say that you should basically use it to like hold choke points, or like very narrow areas, or like basically keep the attackers from pushing you, which flamethrowers are kind of trash in this game, but we ain't gonna talk about it. At level 17, you will get the respect. Oh wait, no, not 17. At level 18, you will get the machine guns for each side. The Russians will get the DMP, which is the upgraded version of the already good DP-27. I have used that. That gun is amazing. And yeah, this is basically just the same thing, but with less recoil. The Germans will be getting supplied with the very infamous and handy dandy MG42, which I don't really gotta say nothing about that gun. If you played a World War II game before, I'm sure you know what an MG42 is, and you know how deadly it is. So, do I really gotta say anything about that? And at the end, they made sure to remind everybody that you can only currently level up in the Berlin campaign if you have purchased a premium squad, which I have. But they also, since they are adding this content to the Berlin campaign, that basically means that they are shifting to the phase where it's going to be open to everybody, and you can level up, or everybody can level up without having to purchase a premium squad. So I don't see why else they would add content to the Berlin campaign if that wasn't the case. And yeah, so basically, if you don't want to buy the premium squad, just wait a little while longer, and you will be good to go. That's pretty much it for the Q&A/content update. Is there anything that like stuck out from the question section, or are you happy the Berlin campaign is going to be available to everybody to start leveling up? I personally feel like the player count in that campaign is kind of low, and obviously that's because you have to pay to get into it, and I'm on console on top of that, so it's like a double whammy. But since it's going to be open to everybody now, I'm actually looking forward to everybody getting in there and leveling up, because in my personal opinion, I would say Berlin has some of the best maps in the game by far, and everybody I know usually tends to stay on the Normandy campaign, which that's not bad either, but it's always nice to get more stuff that is actually good. And yeah, other than that, just let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching the news video, and don't forget to drop that like and subscribe. I will catch you guys in the next one. Black guy out. Definitely a save. So